I woke at about 5:30 to take Reba for walkies. Her favorite part of the walk is when we go past my sister Lori's house. She constantly wags her tail and turns to face me. I know she's asking me if she can see Scott and Lori. We always visit, but that's on our afternoon walk, not on this early morning one. Instead, we walk back home, usually turn on the early morning news, and relax on the couch. I give her the first of 3 treats, and she'll usually fall back to sleep, curled up next to me. Today was different, however. I had to finish getting my things ready for a very big and significant trip. Not only has Africa always been on my bucket list, but this trip is sacred. I left my house to drive to Tucson a few minutes after 9. The drive from my home to downtown Tucson is 4 hours and 22 minutes, according to Apple Maps. I had to stop at the Circle K before hitting the road. Breakfast was a bag of corn nuts and a Coke. When I arrived, I had a list of errands that I needed to take care of. The first stop was to pick up a death certificate at Bogut's and Gordon. Second, go to the Apple store to get a new pair of AirPods. I've been told that the new Pro models do a better job of quieting the loud airplane on a long journey. Third, get a haircut. Fourth, I planned on getting my car washed, but while I was in line, Mother Nature started a heavy downpour. The man working there decided to close down their shop, and they wouldn't even let me vacuum it out. Fifth, visit my friends at the CSA. The plan was to meet my friend Mary Pat, who will be my partner in crime for the adventure. She decided, however, to wait and start packing for our trip until that afternoon. So I texted her and told her I'd meet her at the airport the next morning instead. Sixth, go to Taqueria Pico de Gallo in South Tucson. I try to eat here each and every time I come to the Tucson area. It didn't disappoint. Seventh, drive to my friend Sarah's house to drop off my car. She is a good friend and has saved me so much money in airport parking fees over the last year. On my drive and from Sarah's driveway, I was able to stop and see some of the thunderstorm. The Tucson International Airport is a ghost town, especially at 03:30 in the morning. I'm one of those people who would rather show up 10 hours early than 2 minutes late. For this reason, I stood curbside from precisely 03:29, waiting for Mary Pat to arrive. We agreed to meet at 0400, but when I called her, she wasn't close to the airport yet, so I sent her a message letting her know I'd meet her at the gate. Over the next 21 days, she may not like traveling with me because I'm one of those people who feel that arriving on time is actually late. I can't help it that I just started my 20th year of being a flight attendant. You learn to be early or you lose your job. Thank goodness she made it on time. We were able to meet and have a chat before it was time to board the first of 3 planes. Which brings me to the question you may have. What is this trip all about? As many of you know, during the pandemic, I lived with 2 men who would quickly become dear friends to me. What started as simply helping out with trips to the grocery store soon became full-time caregiving. One of these friends, Pip, who went by Pepito for some, but was really Philippe, was raised in Likasi, a town in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Over the years, he shared many stories about growing up in Africa, and one experience he shared was when his family would drive about 20 hours to visit Victoria Falls, which is a majestic waterfall on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe. About 6 months before he unfortunately passed away from cancer, he asked me if I would be willing to take his remains back to Africa and put them into the falls. I told him I would, and here we go.
Yeah, here we go. We've been cleared for departure.
Today I am thankful for Mary Pat, who is my friend, and was also a great friend to Pip. She has decided to be my partner on this sacred journey.
Okay, so we just finished our first flight. So how you feeling so far? Hi stranger. I like strangers. So how you feeling so far?
Me?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Good. Oh, she wants to be in our video. Anyway, 1 down, 2 to go.
Follow directly behind you.
Yeah, so people can run us over. Hey everyone, look at Mary Pat's hair. You should be a model.
A model citizen.
Yeah. That's better.
Better.
Second flight, here we go.
Once we were in the Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C., we had a few hours to kill, so we got some lunch at Potbelly. We lucked out on our first lodging. When I choose a place to stay, my requirements are simple. The accommodation needs to be clean, have friendly staff, and preferably good Wi-Fi. Villa Viva Cape Town, as it is called, has all that and more. This place has a mission in mind. They believe that access to water is a human right in Africa and the rest of the world. This has become their mission. Much of their proceeds support Viva Con Agua. This is a community and network of people and organizations committed to humane access to clean drinking water and basic sanitary care. Our arrival felt like perfect timing. Not only is Friday night karaoke night, but they like to pull out the barbecue and cook for all the guests. It was a BYOM situation, so Mary Pat and I walked over to a nearby grocery store and grabbed some meat for them to cook. She found some pork, and I found some marinated chicken.
I've got his phone number anyway.
I'm gonna take this moment and make it last forever.
Bucket list item number 89 is now checked off. I have now been to South Africa. It is nothing like I expected, but then I didn't know what to expect. Throughout my life, I have seen how the media or the news paints a picture, but over the years I've learned to take that portrayal with a grain of salt. As you can see, Mary Pat and I decided to go out to brunch. This was after we had slept in for a bit since we were so tired from our overnight flight across the Atlantic. It was a short walk to the Kloof Street house. From the first moment we stepped out the door, we noticed everyone here seemed so kind, not just the people who were trying to sell us something. A couple sat at the table next to us. Their conversation was very loud. The woman would say something funny, and the man would laugh at what sounded like the top of his lungs. At first I thought they were being rude, but I soon calmed down and realized they were just enjoying themselves. After our meal, we walked further into the downtown area and stopped briefly to watch some street entertainers.